Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with those you have to do them with. We just got off the back of Newcastle versus Tottenham. 1-1 was the final score. We got a hell of a lot to talk about in that game. A lot of the context and the connotations, primarily from what looks like a shocking injury to poor old James Maddison, who just can't catch a break. Bless him. But of course, we're not just here to talk about Tottenham. We are here to talk about all things football, which we'll catch up on in the second half. There's a lot of other stories, a lot of other things that are breaking in that regard. But Jonny, just quickly, mate, I mean, talk about the game, but talk about the, from a Tottenham perspective, the injury to James Maddison is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a game changer. Can we talk about my injured arm? Look, I don't want to be the told you so guy. I never wished him to have an injury, but I kept saying, if you think we can go through the season with one number 10 with James Maddison, you're absolutely delusional. And number 10 is an absolute priority. And now we got a major problem. Spurs have got a major problem because is it too late for Eze? If not, they need to go and sign Eze straight away because he can play in the 10. Play the second thing, they need to keep Jamie Donnelly. Whether you think Jamie Donnelly is ready or not, we don't have another 10. And if we don't have another 10 and we don't find a 10, because West Ham now are not going to sign, let us have Paquetá. And if they do, we'll have to pay well through the nose for him. And does that mean that if we spend that money, that's the money taken away for the left winger and for potentially another striker and a left centre back? It's a massive blow. Doesn't come as a surprise to me that he's injured. But this sort of injury, severity of the injury, I feel really sorry for him. It just couldn't have come at a worse time. Or could it not have come at a better time? You know, I'm not trying to be nasty.
Spin it, isn't it? It's one way to spin it.
Right, yeah, because imagine the window's just closed. We didn't sign another 10.
Yeah.
Jamie Donnelly's gone out on loan. We're in the mud. We're in the mud because creativity today wasn't great. Let's be honest, in the middle of the park, you can be workmanlike, you can be busy, but we need creative in the middle. And we don't have that if you don't have James Maddison in the middle. But we need a left-sided winger, definitely. No disrespect, Matthias Tell. I think you're going to be a really good player. I don't think you're ready yet, but I do think that over the next few weeks, you're going to see an improvement of Matthias Tell with Cochrane and Frank working on him. But in the middle, you need to be able to open up the pitch. And let's be honest, Solanke in the one game against Reading was shocking, couldn't even jump. Now he's injured. And then we've had... well, you couldn't even say much about Richie today because I don't think he had a ball to do anything with. One, I think, where the goalkeeper got his foot out. Other than that, I'm not sure what we can do. You know, you've got to be hard to beat, Sean, but you need to be a danger. Even Kudos, when he came on, he had one chance. He did a nice little bit of skill, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah, look, I think, for me, right now, my priority is not worrying about the game, if I'm entirely honest. My priority is worrying about where do we go now. And as I said in the 10 minutes after the game when you were when you jumped off, I think that sometimes, from paralysis, you can get stuck with paralysis through analysis, right? Like Tottenham Hotspur clearly, if the rumours are to be believed, clearly have been a little bit sidelined by thinking, shall we go and get a defender, a centre-back, in the presumption that Romero's going to leave next season maybe, and therefore we'll do a little bit of succession planning. And if there was truth to the idea that we were going to spend 70 million on Zabani, and we had money maybe earmarked for a Morgan Gibbs-White, to me, Jonny, right now, all of that shit needs to be shelved. And it's actually probably a beautiful thing that through adversity comes opportunity, and that opportunity looks like clarity. To me, clarity comes from the idea of where do we spend what money we have and how do we spend it. And to me, I think that you absolutely now have absolutely no other option than to fix the front line. And I'm talking about a 10 that can play off the left, or a left that can play as a 9, or maybe even bring in 3 if you can find a home for Solomon. But Solomon's injured, so you're not going to... I mean, I was saying this before, Johnny, right? How fucking ridiculous is it, man? I'm not sure if you were on the stream at the time, but Manor Solomon came to Tottenham 3 years ago, 4 years, whatever it was, 3 years ago, plays 4 games, gets injured, misses the entire season, goes to Leeds, fine, physically fit, does a worldie in the Championship. Daniel Farke saying, we've lost our number 1 creative outlet. We have to go again in that department. He comes back to Tottenham and he's fucking injured again. It's just like, it's what's going on. Like, it's like we're cursed. It's like there's a ring around our training ground that when people walk in, they trip over like a loose stone or something, and they break down again. If you can't move him on because Solomon's injured, if you now definitely can't move Maddison on, and you're not going to be able to move Decky on, then you might have to drop 1 or 2 of those out of the Champions League squad. But when it comes to where does our money go, it has to go in one direction and one direction only. I'm not talking Harry Styles. I'm talking go and get me a 10, go and get me a left winger or a hybrid of the 2, or get me a left winger and a forward or a hybrid of the 2.
Sean, you need both, mate, because
absolutely,
we've got too many left wingers. We've got, what have we got? We've got Sonny, we've got Mikey Moore, we've got Richarlison, we've got Solomon. 3 of them have gone, or 2 of them have gone, and 1 of them's injured, right?
And Donnelly's about to go.
Yeah, what's name's he's not quite ready yet. I wouldn't put a whole season on him to play every game. That's not fair on the kid. So we need, I'm sorry, you've got to find the money. Got to find the money. We need, in my opinion, we need a 10, we need a left winger, and we need a young mobile forward. Because I don't believe that Solanke is that sort of exciting mobile forward that's electric pace, nor is Richarlison. So, something's got to give. Something's got to give. Hello, Vissa calling? Maybe we need to go for a Vissa, go and pay the money. Do Spurs have the money to now go and really attack the market? Because, let's be honest, if we don't answer with a top left-sided player and a 10, we're going to have a problem. We can get round not having a left winger if we get the 10. But I don't believe we can just get a winger and not have the 10, because we'll have no creativity in the middle of the park. I don't believe Kudos is that player in the middle of the park, to be honest with you. I'm not saying he doesn't have skills and what have you. But listen, it was a major blow. I thought Newcastle played well after the first 20 minutes. They will be happy with their performance. Joel Linton's an absolute animal.
He's a prick.
I thought Anthony Gordon...
Guy's a prick. He's a big unit. He doesn't need to throw his weight around the way he does. He elbowed our little young lad Archie Gray in the face. And I can't remember. Someone in the chat, please. Welcome, by the way. There's 600 people in the chat straight off the bat. Love to see it. Please do smash the like button for the channel. Really appreciate you. Hit the subscribe if you are new here and you haven't yet. All you got to do is rub the sub button, and then you get instant access to the chat. We're trying to grow the channel. Thank you, everyone, for 4K, by the way. We're on the march to 5K now. Unbelievable sort of support from you guys. It's been brilliant. Let us know. I asked Johnny this a couple of times in the chat. I don't think Johnny could remember either. In the Tottenham versus Newcastle games in the Premier League last season, I think we got our asses handed to us. Joel Linton smashed one of our youngsters as well in that game. Like, I'm not sure if it was away at St. James's or at our stadium, but Joel Linton absolutely smashed someone that was like a youngster in Tottenham. Can someone remember? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, that guy's an absolute prick, mate. He's a thug. He's a big unit. He doesn't need to throw. Don't get me wrong. I'd love him at Tottenham as a player on your team. But when he's not on your team, he's a dickhead. A dickhead. It was Bergval, wasn't it? It was Bergval. Bergval. Yeah. Thank you, DB.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Listen, look, guys. I think for both sides, Newcastle haven't come off those defeats. They'll be very happy with a 1-1 draw. I think Thomas Frank just wanted to get, some work into those legs, but you could see his face when he saw that Maddison was down, because he now knows that, well, they've been nurturing Maddison to get back so that he's ready for the start of the season. And that has just been kiboshed, right? No Maddison again. I got a lot of trouble, Sean, as I was saying to you before, that, you know, when I said that he's not he doesn't have the physicality for Thomas Frank's type of game, and people went on me, started showing me all the stats for James Maddison. I never said James Maddison's a bad player. I just said he didn't have the physicality. On a bright note, though, thought Archie Gray was the man of the match today for Spurs. And I thought Anthony Gordon was really good for them today. And bar the first 20 minutes, I think they would all be very happy. Anyway, let's look at who we could sign, Sean. Or should we move on?
No. Let's start with this. Look, we'll spend 2 minutes, just quick 2 minutes, Johnny, because I know there's a lot of Tottenham fans here, but I also know there's a lot of people that aren't Tottenham fans here as well. And so we're going to move into transfers, because for me, the game was the game. We will spend 2 minutes just quickly analysing, mate. Let's just go through the Tottenham team, the players there that were there, and the standouts of the Newcastle team. I thought, from Newcastle's perspective, I thought Anthony Gordon was really impressive. I thought he looked really, really good. I thought Guimaraes was very good he grew into the game. Second, I thought he was terrible in the first 25, but I thought he got better as the game went on. I thought the right back for Newcastle was pretty impressive as well, curtailing Sonny for most of the game and in the second half. I'm not sure. Was that Livramento? I forget. Oh, sorry, Kieran Trippier. Trippier to start with. Yeah. I'm not sure who it became in the second half. But and then from Tottenham's perspective, you know, I thought that Archie Gray was really impressive today. Really, really impressive. I thought when Bergvall came on was really good as well. There was glimpses from Yang, but it's too soon for him. Sonny, sad day for him, but the right decision for the football club. At the back, I thought Jed Spence had a good game again on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for the raid, Sava raid. Thanks very much, everyone. Guys, if you're coming over from Sava's channel for the first time, guys, you want to make a comment, hit the subscribe button, join us in the chat. And if you are here for the first time, let us know where you're from. Look, Sean, we could digest this. We could cogitate. We could digest, and we could chew it over to the cows come home. I think it's a game about getting in the legs, as I said, for both clubs, getting them towards that the kickoff date. But I think for Spurs today, the terrible news that James Maddison overrides everything else. And the only bright spot today was, the sentimental Heung-min Son's departure from the pitch, and the guard of honour from the Newcastle and the Spurs fans got all very emotional. But it was a nice touch, and Sonny will sail into the sunset, and we will thank him for it. But I think Newcastle fans, if there's any in here now, and they saw Isak leaving the Newcastle training ground yesterday, where a bunch of kids and teenagers and old men in very ill-fitting Newcastle shirts, bellies hanging out, were trying to boot his car and screaming abuse at him. Is there really a way back for Alexander Isak now? Or do you think a couple of goals?
I think those Newcastle fans have like just signed their own death warrant with regards to Isak by doing that. It's mindless behaviour. It's mindless behaviour, because Newcastle have rejected a bid, and according to reports that were out a few days ago, that from I think it was Pletsigol or someone basically said Newcastle's reaction to Liverpool's first bid was basically don't bother with a second. You know, so if Newcastle fans are treating him like he's a pariah, you know, Newcastle fans, I love Newcastle, but I know this from my experience on Sean Butler TV when I do videos about FFP and PSR, and I talk a little bit about Newcastle being a part of that whole ecosystem. Same, just like the other day when I did a video about Nottingham Forest. It's insane how precious certain fans of certain clubs can be with anything that can be perceived to be negative about them. Liverpool, the way that they treated Trent Alexander-Arnold for having the audacity to want to move to the biggest club in the world in Real Madrid, they basically treated Trent Alexander-Arnold like he'd like he'd sort of shot their mother or something. The way that Alex Isak is just saying, wait a minute, one of the biggest club in England probably is coming after me. I'd like to go there. I don't know. Like, you know, I think that there's just there's levels to the game and respect. And before the deal is done, at least, you shouldn't be acting like that, because you're essentially writing your own death warrant. And I think that's what's those Newcastle fans behaving like that, mate, have really shot themselves in the foot, because there's no deal on right now. It's impossible.
Well,
deal, isn't it? So
look, they're going to Liverpool are going to come back with a deal. Let's not make any. Let's not be ridiculous about this. Sesko, both Newcastle and Man United have spoken to Sesko. If Sesko chooses Man United, and there's only one way we feel that deal could possibly happen financially, then they're backed into a corner again, Newcastle. And, you know, who do they go for? Vissa and a few others that, you know, other options, but they're nowhere near their first options. We know they've already had seven transfer bids that have already been put down that they've lost out on. So, you know, look, I think Spurs and Newcastle now are both in a situation where they need to sort themselves out quickly. Newcastle need a couple of defenders.
They couldn't even field a 9 today, mate. They couldn't even field a 9, could they?
Yeah, they couldn't. Well, yeah, the young boy.
They played Gordon in the false 9 because they haven't got a 9, because they haven't got that Asusa, whatever his name is, the Swedish fella, the kid, Danish fella. Isak, and then Isak obviously not playing for whatever reason, injured, whatever, and Callum Wilson's already left the club, so they absolutely need a 9. But I tell you what, Newcastle's first 11 is up there with the best in the game. They put in Tottenham took the first half, the first 15, 20 minutes, it was all Tottenham. They had a little spell. We had a little spell. They finished the half very strongly. Once Matisse Tell made that boo-boo and didn't slot it home. If he'd slotted it home, it would have been a different game. We could have probably gone on and win 3 or 4-0, but you missed that one. You know, didn't do himself any favors. I thought, for what it's worth, Matisse Tell, it didn't let it affect him, and he got back into the game in the second, before he came off for.
To be honest with you, the press, high up press, was good from Spurs. But look, going back to the transfers, you know, Spurs needed a 10, because I've said all along, you can't let go into the season with just James Maddison get injured. We know we needed a left. We got too many wingers, we heard. Too many wingers. Then what happens? Son leaves. Mikey Moore leaves. Manor Solomon's injured and may be going. So all of a sudden, our options on the left are just sort of Richarlison and Matthias Tell. I don't believe Matthias Tell, you know, is quite ready yet. We need a 10.
Johnny, is Thomas Frank has confirmed that Maddison injured the same knee that he injured towards the end of last season.
Yeah, it was a no contact injury. Didn't do anything. It didn't touch anything.
I think he tried to block a pass from the right back.
Anybody? He didn't get in contact with anybody. It was no contact. There was no contact. I think his knee just went.
No, I disagree. I think he put his foot in there to block a. It wasn't like a tackle, but I think he put his foot in there to block a long pass or something. But either way, yeah, his knee's gone.
Watch it back. I don't think he touched a player, but
I will, and you will too, and then we'll figure it out next time.
We'll see who's right. No, joking aside, I think Jamie Donnelly, although he hasn't played him in the 10, I think he's got to be kept in the squad. If we don't sign him 100%, we need a left winger, we need a 10, and we need it now. We can't afford to wait any longer, Sean. We just can't.
Yeah.
Oh, and a strike. Yeah, I said exactly the same, Sava. Thanks for popping in, Sava, and thanks for the raid. No, 100%. Those are the 3 positions that we can't mess around anymore. Listen, we can do now without saying, if we have to sacrifice one thing right now, I'll sacrifice the left centre back right now for those 3 positions. I really would.
I'd sacrifice an 8 right now.
Well,
because the stand-up performances for me today, I thought Bentancur was very good when he played. I thought Bergvall was very good when he came on. I thought Archie Gay was very good, and I thought Pape Sarr had a good shift as well. And it makes you think that if there's a priority, then it's to get if it was like an 8/10, like a Paquetá, or a 10/left winger like an Eze, then right now it's obvious which way you go.
Oh, mate, it's not. You need both. You need both. We just said there's not enough on the. We just said we got one. If we sign a 10, we got 110, right? One, right?
No, I think you misheard what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're looking at someone like a Paqueta who's an 8, like a Gibbs White replacement, like an 8/10, or you want to go and get a 10/left winger. Of those two options, because we're not going to get 3 players, right? We need a 9, we need a left winger, and we need a 10. So in all likelihood, you're going to get. You hope that Tottenham will at least get 2 players. At least one of them can be versatile enough. Like if you're going to get a Leao, you could play him on the left wing, or maybe play him in the play. I'm just saying, maybe play him in the forward. If you're going to get a Rodrigo, just as an option, as a thought experiment, you can play him on the left, or you can play.
Listen, look, Eze's the player. Right, he's got the physicality. I've said this time and time again. He's got the physicality to hold off. He's got the physicality to play in his type of game. You know, Maddison's going to be out for months. Kulu's is months away from being ready for the game. You can see him walking around, but he's nowhere near match fit from that sort of injury. I reckon it'll be December before you start seeing him. So we need to act. Yeah, this is the time now. Is no more bullshit, no more messing around, no more excuses. Club needs to move. Newcastle need to move and get themselves a striker and cover the positions that they keep getting knocked back on. They ended up with Ramsdale as their keeper after going through 2 other keepers. They've gone for 3 or 4 strikers and been rejected on most of them. And Spurs are similar. Spurs aren't, twerking for a bloody striker right now, but we need to be. We need a young, mobile striker. I like the Metz, the young striker there. That's the sort of striker you want. Someone's got bloody legs. Terrifies defence. I keep forgetting his name now.
Callum Muendo. Callum Muendo.
Yeah, the Metz. Yeah. I just think right now, we got to go and get Eze, and we need to go and get an outstanding left-sided left winger. That's what we need. That's
not a striker.
Yeah, we need all 3, Sean.
Yeah, but you don't that's what my point is. I agree with you. Of course, you need a 10, a left winger, and a striker.
I would miss the striker.
You get 2, and hopefully one of them can do a double double role, right?
Mate, yeah, you need a left winger. Kudos can play as a false 9. He has before. But 100%. All I kept told, we got too many left wingers. We got too many left wingers. Now we haven't. Now we haven't. Moore's gone. Son's gone. Solomon's injured. Tell's not ready. Richarlison, he can play out there, but that's not a position you should really be putting him in at this stage.
Richarlison?
Yeah, he's played off the left, mate. I'm just saying that's what you put left. No. Listen to what I said to you.
I heard what you're saying. But if you're saying that Tell's not ready, Richarlison ain't the guy either. Let's be honest.
He's more ready than Tell.
Massive improvement.
He's more ready than Tell.
They're both dog shit, mate.
Right. Anyway, we know what we need.
Mate, why? You're happy to slander a Tell, but you're not happy to hear it about Richarlison. Richarlison is fucking shit, Johnny. Dog shit.
You're not listening. I'm not slandering Tell whatsoever. I'm saying he's not ready. He needs some work done on him, right? If you listen to what I've said 100 times, Tell under Cochrane and under Frank, right? They will get him performing. They will improve him, but it ain't gonna. They're not going to improve.
I agree with you. Tell's not ready to be the kingmaker, 100%. But Richarlison ain't either. No chance.
Yeah. So
no chance.
Moving on, because this ain't the Richarlison show. Let's go. So where are we going to go, Sean? Should we go to Man United?
Let's talk about Kolo Muani, right? Because I saw someone a minute ago saying Kolo Muani. Well, Butler, where are you coming? This shit that Kolo Muani is coming to Spurs. I'll tell you where I'm coming from. This shit from whoever it was who said it. I think it was Jordan. If it wasn't you, Jordan, I apologize. But whoever it was who was saying that you're making up bollocks about Kolo Muani, I'm not making it up. If I'm not making it up, then maybe the person who is making it up is, I don't know, the Times, the Telegraph, the Express, the News on Sunday Sport. Every major newspaper this morning on Sunday is saying that Tottenham Hotspur are right in for Kolo Muani. And guess what? Daniel Kamoli turns around and says yesterday or 2 days ago, he wants to come to us. We're in no rush. All of a sudden, All of a sudden, the big 5 Sunday newspapers, all of them are saying Tottenham Hotspur are very much in for Kolo Muani. And then guess what happens this morning at 10 o'clock, just before we go live? Timothy Weah leaves Juventus and goes to Marseille. So when Daniel Comoli, ex-Tottenham absolute bozo, turns around and says, we're in no rush, suddenly they're panicking and accepting a deal far lower than they were hoping for Timothy Weah, because I believe, and Johnny does as well, I think, Johnny, don't want to speak for you, but that Tottenham are in for Kolo Muani. Whether they get him or otherwise is a different conversation, but the news is out there.
Well, Sean, I've been going on about Kolo Muani for months on end.
I'm not saying. I'm saying whether you believe that the story is that Tottenham in is what I'm saying.
I do, because let's be serious, right? We were in for him before we signed Matthias Tell, and then we got spun the yarn that we wanted Matthias Tell all along. But imagine being the person that had to sell Tottenham last January, couldn't buy a win, right, going backwards in the league. Didn't know whether we were going to win our next game, as opposed to Juventus. Good luck selling that story. Whereas now, the story is inward investment, new manager, Champions League, better team, more money coming in for better players, and we want you to be part of it. Still a hard sell, but Juventus do not have the money. It's as simple as that. They need to get rid of Vlahovic. They need to get rid of Douglas Luiz. They got rid of one this morning, but they still need the money. They couldn't even raise the money for Jadon Sancho, the 8.6 million loan fee plus bonuses for Jadon Sancho. So Spurs need to move quick if we're going to get him. And yes, Kolo Muani can 100% play as a centre forward, whether you like to hear it or not. He can play right through the middle, and he's strong enough and physical enough to play it. He's much better at Matthias Tell doing that right now. He's 26. He's much older. But, we need an Eze. Spurs need to go and drop the money now. Enough of the bullshit. Enough of I want to win the league. I want to win this. I want to win that. Unless you go out and you start dropping some serious bombers, right? We're just going to be bombing and we'll be struggling around 10th to 7th place. Yeah. And let's start dropping some serious money right now.
Here's the problem, though, Johnny. Here's the problem, mate. I don't know if this is breaking news or not. Liverpool, according to the Mail Sport, Liverpool will return with a... Can you see it on the screen? Is it on the screen? No, sorry. My bad. Sorry, guys. Liverpool will return with a British record bid for Alexander Isak when Newcastle secure a replacement. And then if I just scroll one up, Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, Newcastle are quite clear now that they are open to exploring the sale of Alexander Isak. Right, he wasn't there today, obviously. They had no 9 today. I thought Anthony Gordon is a brilliant player. I remember, not to hark over old news, but I remember when Tottenham were about to sign Anthony Gordon. I remember being in WhatsApp groups with certain people telling me that I was a bozo for saying that Anthony Gordon is a future baller before he moved to Newcastle. And then about a week later or a month later, Tottenham were linked with, I'm not going to go over it again, they were linked with Richarlison, and they were telling me Richarlison's clear. And I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, my point being, mate, that Newcastle United are clear. I know you felt the same about Gordon. Sorry, I'm not trying to go on about Richarlison, just about the Gordon thing. Anyway, Newcastle are quite clear they are open to exploring the sale of Isak. And that, as I said, the story before is Liverpool are about to come in with 130, 140 million, 150 million, maybe, whatever the British record is.
Can I add to that, Sean? Can I just add to that?
Yeah, cool. Please do. Yeah, sorry.
It just shows that sometimes being an arsehole can be an advantage, because also today, Brentford have announced that they are now open to selling Vissa. Having said there's no way
they sign Leandro Trossard, Johnny.
Yeah. So, suddenly the goalposts have moved. Now, does that mean Spurs have come in for Vissa? Does that mean Newcastle are coming for Vissa because they now know that Benjamin Sesko, they've had meetings, and Manchester United are going to do the deal? And they're talking about Manchester United. I think we have to go to that place, Sean, don't we?
Which one? Let me know. I don't want to fuck it up.
Well, we ain't going to Turkey, so where else could we be going?
We're off to Saudi
Well, so Fernandez.
Oh,
Saudi Arabia.
Sorry, now I know where you're going with this one. Yeah, 100%. Talk to me, Johnny. Talk to me.
Saudi Arabia, having said absolutely no chance I'm leaving, I want to be part of Manchester United. They have come back in for Bruno Fernandez, but not the original team that was in for him. Now, what's his name's team? Bruno Fernandez.
Al Nassr. Al Hilal bid 100 million quid, offered him 700 grand a week. He said no dice.
Yeah.
Al Nassr have come in, apparently offering 100 million quid, apparently offering 700 grand a week, and apparently, according to reports this morning, apparently Bruno Fernandez is very much open and okay with the idea of going there because he's hoping he wants to play with his old mate Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I think he's seen the goings-ons there. Apparently, Matt Hargreaves met Al Nassr's Simal Coutinho to discuss a move, and personally spoke to Bruno Fernandez as well, who is personally requested by George Jesus, and that's George Galeatti, right? So it's not like some crappy journalist. And I think, the fact that he said no, and now it's been rekindled. Do you think someone like Jim Ratcliffe has said to him, look, mate, we need the money, right? If you move, we can do Benjamin Sesko. We can do this deal. We can do that deal with that £100 million. Without the 100 million, we can't do it. We can't do any of these deals. And you're going to it's a game changer for you. The amount of money you're going to earn out there with playing with your old mate Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not quite sure. I mean, he took quite a while to decide whether or not he was going to go. Do you think this deal was so good, no human could possibly refuse it? It's possible, right?
I'd still be surprised if he ends up going. If I'm entirely honest. I'd still be surprised because if he didn't want to go to for 700 grand, what the difference is playing alongside Ronaldo? Is that really the difference? Like,
yeah,
you can meet up with your mate Ronaldo, every day after training. I don't know. I don't. If it does happen, here's what I will say. That is the prayer answered that every Manchester United fan and probably Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been wishing for the last month, because it suddenly opens up an entire access to a pool of money. You can multiply, you can skim the multiplier into a 5x, and then Man United can go and do what they want to do with regards Onana. They can go and do what they want to do with regards getting in a centre back and obviously a striker, right? And so all of a sudden United are putting together a squad that is pretty scary. However,
100%, they will. And go on.
Well, I was just say, however, I don't think that Ronaldo's the difference maker. I don't think he's the kingmaker in that deal. If you weren't interested a month ago because Saudi Arabia was a problem, unless he didn't want to go there because he was the proximity to World War III, because it's around the corner and World War III suddenly is less likely. I don't know. I'm pretty massively speculating here, but I just don't think that Ronaldo in and of himself is enough of a difference maker to make him have delayed that move for the last month, and now he was dead against it. His family were against it, and now suddenly they're all on board it. Why? Because of Ronaldo? Come on, what are we doing here? I don't believe it's going to happen.
I didn't say it's just Ronaldo. I just said maybe the deal that's been offered is even far greater that no human could turn it down.
Maybe.
I mean, listen, the fact that Matt Hargreaves has gone out to Al Nassr, and they've been there discussing it, and the manager's requested it, and it's been reported by a decent journalist, has to have some credibility to it. Although, we've seen that he's rejected them before, surprisingly. But look, Manchester United are sort of blocked up at the moment. I mean, Rasmus Højlund, right? They can't work out. He's told Manchester United he wants to stay and fight for his place, reaffirming his public stance. He is absolutely not interested in moving to RB Leipzig as a replacement for Manchester United's interest in Benjamin Sesko.
Interesting.
He's being mentioned in discussions. He's not interested. Yet Manchester United have now declared that they're willing to let Rasmus Højlund go for just 30 million. 30 million.
He doesn't want to go, mate. He wants to fight for his place. And you know what that makes him, don't you, Johnny?
Yeah.
Just when you thought your squad was getting proper, that player won't leave. They call that cock blocker.
Yes.
Proper cock blocker.
Proper. He's a proper cock blocker. And I don't know if they can force him out. Jan Artefirtov has said there is interest in him from numerous clubs. We've also got interest, no doubt, will come from Atalanta, his previous club. But don't forget, right now, they're trying to sell Lookman to Inter Milan. Bit surprising, Sean and I, a bit surprised that no one from the Premier League has come in. But yeah, right now, Højlund is an absolute cock blocker. One cock blocker amongst many. And then we saw the one yesterday, the news that whilst the club is trying to get rid of Anthony and Amorim wants rid of Anthony, some of the players have mentioned to the press that they quite like to see Anthony come back and they think he'll be good for the system.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another one. It's a problem, mate. So this is the thing. I hear your point about whether or not Jim Ratcliffe has essentially turned the screw on Bruno Fernandez, saying, look, for want of a better word, you have to go because you are really sort of upsetting our plans here. We can't shift this guy. We can't shift it. This guy ain't leaving. He ain't leaving. Everyone's doing the Leo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. And I don't know, mate. Like, I mean, the details will fall on that whole Al Nassr bid, but
well, do you remember?
It feels like something has to move at Manchester United for United to be able to do what they like. They spent the whole summer so far focusing on their front end, and their front end looks good. It looks better. They still need I mean, it's not just Højlund, by the way. That's a piece of shit. It's also the other fella, right? No. I mean, in the striker, but the fella who went from Xerxes, from Bologna, wherever he came.
Xerxes better than Højlund, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's better than Højlund.
Do you remember us having the conversation, Sean, that Manchester United, that everything was hinged. Manchester United were ready to pounce on numerous targets and do their business early. It came as a massive shock to them when Bruno Fernandez turned down Saudi. And that turning down and that £100 million being released stopped them doing numerous deals. And now they're in the situation where they managed somehow to get Bruno Bueno over the line. But now the money's more or less dried up now. They want to do this Sesko deal. Newcastle are no doubt throwing everything on it. And can we say that there could well be a bidding war and Newcastle end up paying over the odds for Benjamin Sesko?
If not him, then Nicholas Jackson. Somehow I've got a feeling that Chelsea are going to come out of this looking good. Somehow, I just got a feeling that Chelsea somehow are going to once again get ridiculous money for.
Are you saying there's a connection between Clear Lake Capital, EIF, and Chelsea? And
I mean, maybe it might be a little bit about.
It's all about the PSR. It's all about the FFP. It's all about the loopholes. It's all about the money.
Listen, we know 100% that Chelsea and Newcastle are connected. We also know that Chelsea need to get rid of players and generate some money. We also know that Newcastle are struggling for a striker. We know that Chelsea need to get rid of a striker. So what better fit than to merge the two together and send Nicholas Jackson off to Newcastle? I don't think it's anywhere near their first choice, but the way things are going, they'll come in and get Visser, and then that's all they'll be left with. But it's a possibility for Newcastle, the way things are going. And we saw today, you can't just play with a false nine, all of this video. Because this is part of us, Sava. This is our shtick.
I can figure out some ones. Sava, that are relevant to Spurs 5. I'll just make it boxing matches. I'll just as soon as I'll tell you what I'll do. As soon as something goes crazy, Sava, I know how you like when you get annoyed when someone's on the interruption on a 2-man debate. This is what I'll do, Sava. Okay, I'll do something like this.
Order! 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 Order!
Yeah, that's what we need.
I got loads of these bad boys. I got about 400 of them stacked up, mate. We can certainly use them when we need to.
That's what this show's about, guys. If you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when Sean and I are going to go, because we could go from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. You noticed it. And thanks to everyone for sending us over 4,000 subscribers in just over 2 months, mate. It's absolutely incredible. Long may it continue. Long may it continue.
Thank you, Sava, for the redirect, mate. You're a legend, buddy. A quick couple of super chats, Johnny, before we carry on, mate, if you don't mind. Yep. Tom Martin has started the super sticker train. Where's that choo-choo noise? Here we go. Let us know where we're picking you up from, Tommy boy. Tom, for some reason on Inc, your name comes up as it should. On Spurs Talk Show, it came up as some random, like, whatever account you set up, mate. I don't know what's going on there, but the names are all back. We appreciate you, Tom, very much. Dave Jones as well says, big up you both. I'm from Canvey, not Wales. Oh, have you seen that Dave Jones there? From Canvey Island. He's mega. He's proper, isn't he? Proper Dave Jones, that boy.
Proper Dave Jones. Actually, you know what, Sean? I had a lot of comments yesterday about how we were flying to Turkey, and then all of a sudden, mid-flight, we were hijacked, and we ended up in Saudi Arabia. I think we got to go back to Saudi Arabia, Sean.
Can we just give me? I'll come back to Saudi Arabia. Let me just do the super chats before we get on. Before we take off. 1 second. Hoysen is in the house. Daniel Hoysen, good to see you, mate. With all due respect, Johnny, we can't miss out on a striker. Yeah, I think Johnny. Maybe I was saying to Johnny, it's got to be 2 or 3. I think Johnny was saying we need all 3.
Yeah,
and I'm saying that I don't expect Tottenham, because of the squad status spots, to be able to buy 3 top draw players. So if you can get one of the 2, we might be able to get that can do a hybrid role, like an Eze or like a Muani, someone like that that can do a little bit of both, then maybe you can fill the gap that way. But yeah, I don't think it was Johnny that was wrong there. I think it was just a bit of confusion. But thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hope Peru is good for you, and he's come back in with a super. We're picking you up, Daniel. We're picking you up. We're over in Peru. The choo-choo train has taken ourselves over to, what do you call it, Johnny? Darkest Peru.
Darkest Peru, yeah.
We're picking you up over there, mate. He's come back in with another one as well, saying, I'd go all in for Garnacho, Enzo Milo, and Calamawendo. A lot of those there. Ooh. Yeah. What do you think? Would you take Garnacho at this stage, Johnny?
Hey, honestly, I'd take Brian's grandma right now. We need people. We need legs. We need legs. There's no creativity in the middle of the park. None. Zero. And, all clubs need creativity. And listen, everyone says Liverpool bang on for the title. And you look up front and you look at their midfield, incredible. You look at their defence, there's an issue there. You cannot start the season with 3 centre-backs, Virgil van Dijk, Gomez and Konate with 1 year left on his contract. They thought they could get Zabani. They ain't going to get him. He's going to PSG. They thought they were going to get Mark Gahey. There's no guarantee that he's going to leave, because he's got 1 year left, and he can leave on a free come in January. So it's a risk, but I think they're going to have to come and pay over the odds for Mark Gahey, and without it, they need it. And the same with Man United, like we said before. If they get Benjamin Sesko, great up front, but that defence, apart from Lenny Yoro and maybe a couple, they need centre backs.
Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, they need a new goalkeeper. Whether they get Lisandro Martinez or not, I'm not sure. But
Johnny, just before we get on the plane to go to the other part of the world where we go to, just want to quickly I'm not sure. There's a lot of Tottenham. There's over 1,000 people here, by the way. I'd love to see it. It's been up to nearly 1,200. Please do smash the like. Love you. Subscribe.
We know any local.
We know a few of them. Jonny, I just want to quickly ask you about Tottenham's game right today. For me, drawing 1-1 against Newcastle, that was so miles ahead of us last season, and I thought we were a decent combatant for them today. I thought we were good. I think they challenged us. I think we challenged them. I don't think it was a friendly. So if the injury to Maddison didn't happen, I'd be walking away going, okay, like, yes, areas to improve, areas of like solid things to talk about. Maddison's obviously, that injury's like taken my mind straight into where do we go, right, from here. But like, if it hadn't been for that injury, would you be relatively happy with Tottenham's performance today?
I've been happy with the performance, but look, I've been saying over and over and over again, we need to buy a 10. We need to buy a 10. We got James Maddison. We got this. No. Even with James Maddison, we needed a 10. This injury has exacerbated the problem. Now, Spurs, Daniel Levy, get on our phone, right?
Make it happen.
Call up my mate and get Eze. That's it. Just do the business, man. Now's the time. We need him. That's the uplift we got, because right now it's been a kick in the teeth. Yeah, it was a workmanlike performance, Sean, but I can't read too much into it. I think they gave a lot for the Arsenal game. You've got to remember, these games are thick and fast. You've got the travelling out to Asia, all that jet lag. People don't realise the heat, the humidity, that intense game against Arsenal. 3 days later, you're off. You're flying to Korea, you're playing another game, and 3 days later we're flying back to Europe to play in Bayern Munich. Got to get the legs in. I'm not really paying too much attention to too much. It's about getting the systems right, getting the understanding what Thomas Frank requires. That injury was the worst thing that could have happened.
It also might be the best thing that could have happened.
I was just going to say it's actually the best thing that could have happened. Could have happened after the transfer window closed. And let's be honest, Dom Solanke, even in the Reading game when he was supposed to be fit, looked miles off it. Richarlison's nowhere near on it. And, you know, it's
nowhere near on it either. Yeah,
it's still not full of confidence. It's all very well having a good midfield.
I think it might be a blessing in disguise is the best way to say it. I think that now we know you've got a player in Solanke that's not fit. You've got Matisse Tell that's not ready. You've got Yang that's not ready. I thought Yang was pretty good when he came on, but he's nowhere near ready for the Premier League. Yeah. You've got Odebear, I thought was all right, but again, either way, if I see any more fucking links to centre backs right now, Jonny, I'm like, we are I'm not. I mean, I was going to say I'm not even going to put them out as a content. Of course, I'm going to put them out in content because. That's what I do. What do you want me to tell you?
Hang on.
Listen, Tottenham need to reprioritize, and everything needs to be at the front end of the pitch. 100%.
Sure. We have a massively bloated squad of players that aren't ready. If need be, you sell a couple of centre backs. We've got a whole stable for all of them, and you use that money to buy a competitive left centre back. We need a backup or a competitive left centre back. The chances Mickey van der Ven gets injured.
There's centre backs out there that are left-footed, though, mate. There's Castello Lopeba. There's Piero Hincapi.
Yeah, I know.
We know it's not loads, though. It's a dry market. Left-footed centre backs.
I know, but
it's a fairly dry market, Jonny. It is.
Yeah, but look, we got Destiny Udogie is injured, right? We got Ben Davies. Come on, the club needs to step up now. There's enough messing around.
I hear you.
Don't get any excuses anymore, right? Okay, sell the Deadwood, sell your Manor Solomons, sell the ones you don't want, sell Basuma, force Basuma out, get your 20 million for that, get your 20 million for this, and use that money.
But you can't sell players that are injured, Jonny, which is the point. A couple of days ago, Maddison was
not injured. Is he?
No, but Basuma's cop blocking, right? So he's cop blocking. Yeah. So I hope that we can find a solution for that. I hope that we can find, if I'm entirely honest, mate, at this stage, you can't sell Richarlison because, you need to sell players in areas.
Problems, mate. It's the least of the problems, mate. There's other.
I'm saying, hear me out. So someone's here saying, Eze 2174 saying, You thought Takai was supposed to be good. I've got no idea if he's good or not, by the way. I don't know, but he's injured, right? Solomon's injured.
2 minutes
injured. Madison's injured. Decky's injured. You can't sell injured players. They won't pass medical. So you can't sell these players. So then you go, well, who do you want to sell? Well, Basuma doesn't apparently want to go unless he stays in the Prem. I think that Tottenham should be trying to push Basuma towards a team that he could really thrive in, like West Ham.
Yeah.
100%. Or a Brentford, 100%. Right? Something like that.
Yeah. West Ham, Brentford. Very good. Listen, I'm sure West Ham have got plans. If they could get the 40, 50 million they want for Vissa, that will give them 120 million. I'm sure we're there.
Well, Brentford apparently want Leandro Trossard, mate. Do you think that's a good move, by the way? I think that's a good move.
Yeah, it's good for them. What I'm saying is with the money that they've got, it's going to enable Arsenal to then go and put money towards Fernandez. Yeah, so
exactly.
So it's look, Spurs are behind the curveball. We've been far too slow. We've been far too slow selling any of the players. We're selling no one. We got the money in, 17 million in from Pierre Horbier this summer. We need to sell some more players, make some room, and start being some signs. Now, this isn't only a Spurs channel, right?
Do you want me to go to Turkey, mate? Do you want me to go to Turkey?
Oh, no, I wanted to go back to
Saudi
Arabia, mate. I've had to.
We're off to Saudi Arabia for the next part of the show.
Well, so according to Fabrizio Romano, music to Liverpool's ears, after waiting long and hard for his move to Napoli, it looks like Al Hilal have presented a very good offer and a great project to Darwin Núñez. And they will now hold talks with him and his club and Liverpool and Darwin Núñez representatives about a move this summer. I mean, I'm surprised someone doesn't try and have a little crack at him. Another club in the Premier League. He's still young. Darwin Núñez, mate.
Yeah, but what standard of team do you think would want him?
Well, listen, mate. Look, he's been at Liverpool, right? He was at Benfica. Like, even if he goes to an Everton, right, or a Brentford,
would he want to go to? I don't think he want to go to.
Well, I'm just saying, he was going to Napoli. Do you really want to go at 25, 26 to Al Hilal?
No. Well, I agree with you on that. But I think we played the game yesterday. I asked everybody in the chat, let me know who you support other than Tottenham. And yes or no, would you take Darwin Núñez? And it was overwhelmingly no. So it's like, and he's probably going to sit there and think, I'm Darwin fucking Núñez. Right? I've been at Benfica, I've been at Liverpool. I don't want to go to Everton. I don't want to go to West Ham. I don't want to go to Fulham. I don't want to go to one of these teams. So if he can't get a good caliber of team for normal money, then he might as well go to a lower caliber league for monster money, is my point. But if he goes to Napoli, that makes sense. He's not going to go, like Juve have already got their heart set on a certain player. I mean, I don't know where else he goes, mate. He's not going to end up in Portugal, or he's not going to go back to Portugal, is he? He's not going to go. Is he going to go to Spain? I don't think
the money. Look, they've got Harvey Elliott. They've got him. And that money, if you put the two of them together, they're looking for about 40, 50 million for Harvey Elliott. What do you think they're going to be looking at for now? If they sell him to Napoli aren't going to be able to cough up the money, but Al Hilal probably willing to pay 45 million for him. I think they will. Yeah.
But
so
I think it's more of a player decision, right? If the player thinks that he's a certain caliber, but no one of that caliber in decent European football wants him, like what leagues is he going to be interested? He's only going to be interested in one of Spain.
He's on big wages. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So he's only be interested in Spain, Italy, or the UK. He won't go to France. He's not going to go and play in France for Marseille or Lyon or something. So it's Spain, Italy, or France in reality, or it's Turkey, or it's Saudi. And I don't think anybody in England is going to want him and want to pay his wages unless they are a monster team. And there's no monster team that wants Darwin Núñez, in my opinion. I think the only option might be Newcastle. I think Newcastle might end up. Imagine if Newcastle went, give us 120 million and Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, maybe.
Isak.
Why not?
Isak.
Yeah,
Maybe that.
Yeah, or 100 million with that. Tell me something. Another striker that's gone is completed. He hasn't quite completed it. The deal's completed. They're just waiting for the last part of his medical. Is Armando Broja to Burnley, which is a good signing for them. I haven't seen the fee mentioned. Have you seen the fee for Broja? I don't know. I'm not quite sure why it's not really been public.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's a bit of a strange one. That one nice story that was coming out of Brighton is that James Milner has requested the number 20 shirt to wear for next season for his friend Jota as a mark of respect, which I think is a nice touch. I saw some comments. Well, other clubs are retiring the 20 shirt, so why would you be requesting it? I don't think they read the article where it says that he was a very close friend of Jota. It's hard to believe that James Milner, when you look at some of these players who had it all at their feet and have pissed their careers down the drain, and you got someone like James Milner at a shot 25, 26. You look at James Milner still eking out a career. Ashley Young, proper professional footballers. Just shows if you do live the life and you dedicate yourself to football, you can have a long and prosperous career. I always respect James Milner.
Just quickly, mate. You know, Burnley. You mentioned Burnley. Then you know Alan Pace. You know Alan Pace, who owns
is now bought.
So Alan Pace owns ALK Capital, right? And ALK Capital have a subsidiary, a sports venture called Velocity that are about to buy Espanyol.
Correct.
So Pace Capital also have I'm not sure how you call it, like not a conflict of interest, like a mutual interest with Dundee United, right? Dundee FC, not Dundee United, Dundee FC. Dundee FC, as far as I'm aware, Dundee FC are also in the absolute mud right now. It's either Dundee FC or Dundee United, one of those two. I think it's Dundee FC, which is part of the reason I bring it up. They've been accused of spending public funds, taking public money, taking taxpayer money, and putting it into the football club for ill-gotten gains and for things they shouldn't be doing. I don't know the full detail. I'm going to read the story earlier. I saw it earlier on. And I was like, I better read up on that one because that's one for Sean Butler TV and maybe one for us, mate. But Burnley, another multi-club ownership story, another bit of corruption going on. It's wide and wild.
Look at this. I mean, Burnley's owners have bought Espanyol for 100 million. Based in Barcelona, if you don't know, the neighbours of Barcelona for 100 million pound. Nothing, absolutely nothing in the scheme of things, and it was a good deal. I think Tony Bloom's deal. You got to watch Hearts. He bought up 25% for, was it 20 million pound or less? I think for 25% of the club, and with his links and his ability to find players, I think you should be watching them over the next couple of years because I can see, obviously Brighton and them sharing players like they do with Belgium. But the biggest sharer of players, without any doubt, is Strasbourg and Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are just sticking two fingers up to the world. We don't have that little jingle, do we?
No, not yet. No, we don't. We're doing it soon. Just so I can be entirely opaque with you. Oh, sorry, clear with you guys. I said Dundee FC, which is the one that Alan Pace is involved with. It's actually not. It's Dundee United. Forgive me. Dundee United claimed tax relief from an R&D. So here we go. A top-flight Scottish football club, which is Dundee United, apparently, is appealing a demand from HM Revenue and Customs to repay 1.27 million claimed under a research and development tax credit scheme, partly for player salaries. It's a fucking disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. I mean, every club. Listen, it's football's no different to anyone else, but like the industry is just rife with absolute abhorrent behaviour. Our taxpayer money is going to funding the players' salaries of Dundee fucking United. I mean, it's not United. It's very much a disgrace. But
here we go. So Ademola Lookman has now handed in a transfer request. He's had enough of Atalanta. quite rightly demanding the right fee for his services. They are looking for, they'd rejected a 42 million euro offer plus 3 million in bonuses. When they're looking throughout what's going on in Europe now for strikers and players that can score goals on a regular basis, they're going for 55, 60 million euros. So at least. So I think this situation's got legs. I mean, Inter Milan playing one, they're trying to unsettle the player, but at the same time, unwilling to pay the money. A bit like AC Milan were doing with Arden Deshwari. Yeah. That deal still hasn't come. Sean, could that be a left fielder for you?
Arden Deshwari?
Yeah. For Tottenham?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean,
40 million euros? I mean,
look, he's a very talented player, mate, but he's not. I mean, look, I think that like there's the unknowns. The unknowns. Did we get this off the screen? That was the Ademola Lookman. Basically, his complaint letter to Atalanta, basically putting in a thing. But when it comes to Arden Deshwari, mate,
there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
I used to know what I did know before. Now I don't know. Be honest.
Yeah, look, I mean, for me, Arden Deshwari, mate, he was a cracking player in the Belgium league. And I think what validates him as being ready for the next level is the fact that AC Milan was so willing to stump up the cash for him and take him to Serie A. But Serie A is different; it's a different beast to the Premier League. And I'm just saying,
physical, Sean. It is physical.
No, listen, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying he's not ready. I'm just saying I don't know as well. Why I brought that thing up, I don't know. But like, he's a cracking player, an absolute monster at the Belgium level. But you could make the same argument for the guy Talby, who's gone to Sunderland. Right, Talby at Bruges was an absolute baller. Let's see how he does in the Sunderland. The 7 guys that have gone to Sunderland. Let's see. I don't know. Given where Tottenham are at, Johnny, I know you're a fan of the player. I know you brought it to my attention, and we brought it to everyone's attention. So I know that you're connected in that regard, and that you have like a stake in the kind of in that game. But like at the same time, like it's a fucking risk when Tottenham needs specific players. I don't think we need to worry about an 8 right now. We said this from the start of the show. Tottenham need a 10, a winger, and a striker. Figure that shit out. And if you've got money left over, then figure out everything else afterwards.
Do you not think, joking aside though, look at his carries, look at his creativity, look at his passing. He could easily be the 10. He could easily be the 10. That's my opinion anyway. Look, the thing is... You want Tottenham, you would want Tottenham to go after him right now? No, I'm just saying, if money... Look, that to me represents great value for money. And if we need to buy a left winger, a striker... And a 10 or whatever, something creative, then yes, you know, if it depends.
Ahead of a Xavi Simons.
No, but we're not getting Xavi Simons, are we? According to EMF, we are.
Well, why aren't we getting Xavi Simons?
Well, because apparently he's going to Chelsea, and he's put in a demand that he wants to go to Chelsea, and that's what he said. He's told RB Leipzig he wants to leave, and the only club he wants to go to is Chelsea. Right?
I don't think Arden Deshwari's never played 10 in his life, mate. He's an 8/6. So like he's not. He's an 8. He's an 8, but he leans defensive of the 2, right? But he's somebody who sits low in that kind of hybrid role, and he
8 to 10, mate. I think he's an 8 to 10. He carries the ball.
Not an 8. He's definitely not a 10, mate. He's definitely not a 10. 100%, he's not a 10. Okay. But for me, like I just sit there thinking. Like, are we letting our sort of the tail wagging the dog here? Is your pursuit of him primarily because?
No, it's nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, look, we need fucking players. We need players. I mean, Xavi Simons was great. If Mickey van der Ven could get in his ear, right, and say, look, Xavi, you know, we're mates. Come to Spurs. There's a great project here. Great, because you know you need someone with some skin in the game, and if there's one player that could turn Xavi Simons' head, that's Mickey van der Ven. But we haven't heard any noise that that's the case. We'd love it.
But you know, we'd love it. Chelsea apparently have been
Do we know he's going to do it at the Premier League? He's the unknown. No,
100%. Dude, I'm not sitting here pooing on Arden Shari because I like Arden Shari as well. I'm just saying he's not the player that he's not the priority. I'm saying we need a profile that's a 10.
We're looking at 80. What I'm trying to get at here is, depending on how much money Spurs have available, you're talking about Xavi Simons, where they want like 70 million euros, and Arden Shari, which you could maybe get for 35 to 40 euros, right? Million euros. So I'm just saying, if we need to buy multiple positions, maybe that's a thing. For me, if it's first choice, Sean, I told you, I'm buying Eze, unquestionably, right? No two ways about it. And I buy myself a striker as well to do with it.
Yeah, go and get me Ebra Eze and go and get me a Mikel Tadzi.
I mean, what do other clubs need? Look, Leeds have gone out. Sunderland have gone out and spent there were 107 million before they went and bought Granit Xhaka, right? Fantastic business that they've done. They're making a real concerted effort to try and stay in the league. We've seen Leeds go out and do some really good purchases, 2 centre-backs and some good players, Longstaff. They bought a couple of other hard battling midfielders. They're working from the back. They've told what's his name, Patrick Bamford, he's no longer required. And they're going to go out and probably look at a couple of strikers. Burnley have just got Broja. We know playing under Parker, they're going to be tight defensive. We've seen Forest spend the money. Probably the one club that haven't been really spending the money right now is Fulham, although they're looking at Reece Nelson and a couple of other. They're looking at.
They might end up losing them. They might end up losing Munoz, mate. And then what they're going to do?
Well, they're looking at Raheem Sterling and look at Reece Nelson. You look at Everton; they've done good business. Brighton haven't done a lot. Well, they have done quite a bit early doors. Crystal Palace, judging by Oliver Glasner's stance right now, since John Textor left, it seemed, Willie Johnson's coming in from the New York Jets, having bought his stake, but there doesn't seem to be any money changing hands. They've tried to buy the centre back to potentially replace Gahey, but that hasn't come off. They haven't done any business. Yeah. Aston Villa are treading water. They haven't done any business, looking to lose players. We've seen Manchester City done their business early.
It's going to be a wild part last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Bournemouth. I mean, yeah, they've done fantastic. They sold Kirkes. They're going to sell Zabani. They've sold Dean Huijsen. You're looking at combined 150 million for the 3 players, but they need to get players.
They're never going to be able to spend that money that they've got.
They've got Trossard in, the really exciting little left back. Trossard. He's a proper Trossard. What a Trossard he is. And then you look at Wolves. They signed Wolf the other day, and they've signed a couple of really good.
They signed the guy John Duran.
John Duran. He's still
not
out.
John Duran. John, the guy from Brazil. John something.
Yeah,
John,
I know.
What's his name? Let me know in the chat. What's his name? The Wolves.
Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, guys, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button on our journey now to 5,000. That's our next aim. And if you are here for the first time, please tell us what club you support and where you're based, because we're all over the world right at the moment. And the only other club that are in the mud is West Ham. And I saw a really good image today of their striker turning up for training. There he is, Callum Wilson. You too. I mean, that's how. I mean, they avoided Mikel Antonio, who drove into a ditch, who was injured, and they ended up signing him instead and didn't give Antonio his contract. I'll be interested.
I saw something on Twitter from Mikel Antonio last night. It was on his own page. It was like a montage of his recovery from injury, starting with the crash, and then one of his teammates saying, "How the hell did you walk away from that?" And then everything that came from it. I mean, gee whiz! If you saw the car that he walked away from, or that he came out of, it was half the car was ripped off, Bo. It was madness, absolute madness. Mate, just quickly before I'm not sure if there's any more you got more to go with, but Timothy Weah to Marseille is a here we go. That's done, which might make the Muani thing a little bit more interesting. And I think given what's happened today, I'd be if I was Daniel Levy or whoever it is, get on the fucking phone, bro, seeing what you can do. It's very interesting. Real Madrid have got concerns over whether the young fellas Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia are ready for significant senior roles. Yet again, paying monster money for these Brazilian kids. Sometimes it just doesn't. Not just Brazilians, South Americans. Some went through it on a smaller scale, didn't they? With the fella, what's his name? It went back to what was his name? I forget his name. We paid 12 million quid, but all of them seem to be. There's always a risk, isn't there, about the acclimation process?
I've got a bit of news, breaking news. James Maddison has been pictured leaving on crutches after he was stretchered off. Spurs boss Thomas Frank described the midfielder's bad injury as brutal.
Oh God, doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all.
No, brutal.
We spoke about Brentford's move for Leandro Trossard. That one's looking close. Manchester City are likely to reignite their interest in Lucas Paqueta after he was cleared of betting offences. That's according to Globo Esporte. That's also all around.
Is that lazy journalism, do you think, Sean, or do you think there's substance in it since they've signed all these players since?
I still think they could do with a proper 10. I think that Cherky's a 10 that's more of a right winger, or like at least he plays in that role. It'd be I don't know, mate. It'd be interesting. But listen, if Paqueta's available and Manchester City are not interested, I'd love it. I would absolutely love it. I think he would be fantastic. But I'm with you, mate. I'd rather have Everett Chiesa. Let's see if we can do it. Napoli want to sign Liverpool winger Federico Chiesa after missing out on Dan Ndoye, who has just joined Nottingham Forest. That's from Corella.
And Darwin Núñez, who they were looking for a long time. Unfortunately, the Victor Osimhen deal slowed that one up. Brentford head coach Andrews has not reacted well to Jan Visser's leaving the club pre-season training as soon as a bid came in from Newcastle. Would that suggest to you he's only interested in Newcastle and would have no interest in going to
No, he
Spurs?
won't go anywhere. He'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be part of Brentford right now, does he? That's all.
No. I think if we put in a bid, do you think we'd have just as much chance as Newcastle coming in for him or not?
There's a part of me, mate. There's a part of me that I'm like, this is a little bit underwhelming.
Really?
Well, a little bit. I know what you're going to say. 19 goals, no pens. I know. I hear you. He's a cracking player. There's just a little bit of me that thinks that 50 million quid for a 29, 30-year-old is just mad money.
I think someone has got into Ruben Amorim's medicine cabinet because he's just stated, I want to stay at Manchester United for 20 years. I think he should concentrate on 20 months to begin with.
20 weeks.
20 now. And then move from that point. Oh, my God. I mean, really? I want to stay for 20 years. I mean... Really?
Yeah, good luck with that. You're not going to be like Alex Ferguson. You'll be Alex Ferguson done.
Speaking on the pre-season tour of the United States, Amorim said of his long-term, I want to stay. I want to stay for 20 years. That is my goal, and I truly believe in it. I always do. Something will happen. In some moments, I will be lucky. I had a lot of luck during my career as a manager, and my idea is to stay for many, many years. But again, we know that the results will dictate that. No shit, Sherlock. Huh?
No shit, Sherlock. Few super chats, guys, and I think we're pretty much done for the day. Johnny has got more, but let me just quickly give the super chats over. I think we've done that one from Daniel. Thank you very much, Daniel. Gary, Paul, Speed, Gary Speed, Wissa to Spurs, Solanke to Newcastle if Isak is sold. Not for me. I don't think Solanke, he's not leaving. We just bought him, but I can't really see that one happening. Gary
would have sold Maddison. I do believe as well that Spurs might have sold Maddison had he been stayed fit.
100%. 100%. I think that's throwing a real cat amongst the pigeons. That's going to be the talking point for the next few days for sure. Just hope that the people that are pulling the strings at Tottenham have got plan Bs and Cs, because I genuinely think today is really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. Appreciate you, Gary. Daniel's back in again with another super chat saying, thank you very much, Daniel. He says, hoping to be back in the UK later this year. Easier for the train to pick me up Mate, if you come back, let me know, bro. I'll get you a ticket to a game, and we'll go and have a beer.
The game. We'll meet you before the game. Just a quick one. Everton boss David Moyes is saying signing a right-sided player is our priority. It has been all summer. That bid for Tyler Diblin for 27 million, it's nowhere near going to be enough. I mean, it's almost an insult. I mean, what Southampton want is an insult, but what Everton bid.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the middle, go 30 million plus 25 million based on a variety of different outcomes. You know, if he becomes the guy, then you can't. Southampton need, like every team that does this. Evan Ferguson, same with Brighton. Rather than saying he's 100 million, no, he isn't. He's 100 million if he's perfect, but he's not going to be perfect. So how about he's 40 million quid, or in the case of Tyler Dibbling, 30 million. But then if he makes enough appearances, if he does enough good stuff, and he contributes, then it goes up to 50. But if he really smashes it out of the park over the majority of his contract, the maturity of his contract, then he gets up to 70, something like that. But like you can't. It's just madness. These clubs are just so. I wish I was a director. I'd get so creative with my contracts. I'd be like making people go, "What's with the delay?" It's not because it's a bad deal. It's because they're trying to figure out exactly what the fuck's going on. You know,
you'd be cancelled, mate. You'd be
cancelled. Definitely be cancelled. If Spurs Talk Show hasn't been cancelled after what happened this morning, I don't know what will. West Coast Club will become a new member. Thank you very, very much indeed. Really appreciate you, buddy. Looking forward to getting to know you. The members' content is coming soon. We've got a Premier League. Johnny, let me get the Premier League link up, guys. There's 1,000 people still here. Just give me a second, guys. If you guys are interested in being a part of a free-to-play Premier Fantasy League,
here
it is. Here we go. Then here's the link. Right, it's free to enter, but the entry point is it closes on deadline day. Or sorry, it closed on the eve of the first game. It's free to play. We'll have some prizes. We'll give away some shirts or things or whatever throughout the season. Please do smash that link. It should give you auto access. If it doesn't, then you can see the join code is there, KOGV9C. And we're building up. There's about 50 or 60 people in there so far. We'd love to get it over 100 people. We'll figure out some prizes for the guys. But listen, you're not going to win shit because my fantasy is insane. Okay, and so you're going to struggle. Johnny, you're on mute.
Sorry. Also, we're going to have a score predictor tournament throughout the whole season, where Sean, myself, and the members, one member each week, will do the score predictors, and obviously we'll get points for that, and we'll have a league for that going through the season. And obviously as well, Sean and I have to follow each of our clubs throughout the season. I'm still waiting for my shirt to arrive from Athletic Bilbao and from RB Leipzig, and I'm going to have to pay full whack for my Cremonese because no one in China has even heard of Cremonese. They thought it was a cake. So So look out for that. Got lots of fun things coming in. And lots of
there's the code. There's the code for the league. It should be automatically on that league on the link there. There's the auto join thing. It should all be done. But there is the code, Alfred. Guys, we're going to
more thing, Shawnee. Have you got the link? Have you got the link there for the Apple? I
haven't got the link for Apple. I've got the link for. I can get the link for Spotify. You've got the Apple link, not me. I don't have it.
I'll send it to you to put into the room because although everyone's going to Spotify, for some reason, no one's going to Apple, which doesn't normally balance out with how things normally go. But okay, guys, I think
guys,
that's about it.
Super quick. Say where you are. There's 800 people here, guys. There's a wonderful fella, right? His name's Nige. He runs a channel called Pure Coys. He's on 938 subscribers. There's only 14 people watching him right now. He's right on the cusp of 1,000 subs. He's been one of my longest serving members on Spurs Talk Show. He's a lovely, lovely fella. You're being redirected to him. All right, please go over there, get him over 1,000 subs, and please smash Football Inc. Raid. Sean and Johnny say, come on the Nige or something like that. Please go over there. He's a lovely guy. He's an absolute cool, and he's just about to get to 1,000 subs. But there's very few people watching right now, so stay with us. If you're Tottenham fans, go over there, smash the subscribe to him, type in Football Inc. Raid, and come on the Nige from Sean and Johnny. And we will see you guys on the next one. Johnny?
Just going to say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Apparently only less than 50% of the people who watch our channel actually hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. And hit the like button on your way out onto the new channel, onto the other channel. Thanks very much for everyone. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from this guy. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Love you all. Come on to Tottenham. Figure it out. Get ourselves a couple of worldies. We need it. Let's go. See you tomorrow. Bye.
And Newcastle.
And Newcastle.